Well, we did tell you that today is Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day, the 15th of January. And we're now being joined by a veteran. She is a retired Colonel, Oluyemi Oyekola, who is a former director of catering in the Nigerian Army. Madam, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Indeed, shall we say thank you so much for your service to your country and to the Nigerian Army. You know, thank you for all the years that you have put in. It does appear, though, that you have not exactly been happy since you retired. Is that the case?
Beg your pardon?
I was saying thank you for your service to the country and to the Nigerian Army, but I was also asking if you have been happy since you retired. Are you happy as a veteran?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm not happy because it has been a decision that I made long ago that I want to be part of the Nigerian Army when I was small. And I am glad that I actually fulfilled that ambition in life. When I left, I served the army for good 35 years, and by the time I left, the remuneration was very, very poor, and that is why I'm not happy. Besides, that's the reason why I'm not happy, because for us to have put in all our best years in the service and to be given such money at the end of the day, it's really, really, really ridiculous. And people at home will be asking, since when you left, is this all you can be proud of? You know, that kind of a thing will make you to remain unhappy. That is just why I'm not happy. But rather, I'm happy that I serve my nation meritoriously. Thank you.
How many years did you serve? Oh, you already told us you served 35 years. I wanted to know, when did you retire from the Nigerian Army?
I retired 2017, roughly 8 years old or thereabouts.
All right, ma'am. I just also want to know, you know, it's very rare to find girls wanting to be, because you said you've always wanted to be a part of the Nigerian Army since you were a little girl. I was wondering if there was anything that informed your wanting to join. Did you see other women in the Nigerian Army, or did you see ladies in the Nigerian Army that made you want to join? Or did you think this was something that you think women should be doing?
Yes, actually my father was a soldier, and when we were small, you know, sometimes when I fall sick, I will be taken to the military hospital. It was there I met a lot of senior officers who were not with them, and I do see men saluting them. So I was impressed that, okay, so a woman can join the army and even be saluted by a man. So that actually motivated me when I was small, and I even told my dad then that please, when I grow up, I will join the army because I want to be like that army officer that I've just seen now. So that was what informed me to be part of the military, and I'm happy that I actually fulfilled that ambition in my life.
So what was your experience like? What was your experience like? Would you say it was peculiar for female officers, or would you say that it was the same treatment given to men that was given to women?
The same treatment was given to both of us. We were not segregated, both in training and otherwise, because then I joined as a recruit because we don't have admission into NDA for females as at that time. So because of the ambition I had, I joined as a recruit. It was from there I grew from the ranks and became an officer. But instead of being in the nursing, I now changed my profession to be in the catering services, of which I did very well before retiring.
Well, you have said that, you know, so far so good. You have, and did you? Let me just be very careful now. Did you enjoy your time while you served, or was it very challenging?
Well, it was very challenging because one, as a woman, there is little or nothing you can do in some of the decisions that are taken in the army. Most of our decisions are being taken by the men, of which we were just to be part of it and follow up because you cannot argue with your seniors. But as time goes on, things are beginning to open up for women, and some of our women, when they go up to that rank of generals, they started making impact for other women to follow up, and that has been the situation. I think now that we are out of there, things must have improved for the females that are there. But during our time, it was not rosy at all. It wasn't rosy.
I can only imagine. Once again, we have to thank you so much for your service. But can you tell us what life has been since you retired? How has it been? Have you been able to get by? Were you given a decent gratuity and pension? What exactly has it been like?
Well, like I told you, for us to have put, like during our time, the remuneration was really poor, and it made me unhappy. And to start from there, it's not always easy. Like I went into catering services, and I wanted to take a place in a shopping mall, and they were asking me to bring 30 million to buy a shop. So I was like, where will I get 30 million to buy a shop? Whereas my counterparts that have been in business were just throwing out this money like that, and they bought their own apartment. Whereas I would now have to go to the management to put it up for me on rent, that I'll be paying the rent till when I'm able to meet up with the 30 million naira they requested for. So things are not equal for us when we get out of the service in order to work with, to continue from where we started from. So it's not always easy because the trend outside is high, and we couldn't really meet up. So all along since 2008, you wouldn't believe that I've not been able to meet up with the 30 million they asked me to bring for the shop. And we are just managing there to make things ends meet. And even if not for the housing scheme, some of us wouldn't have a house today. Like me, I don't have a house. So many things like that a lot of us are facing right there outside, that we are not really happy. More so when some of our colleagues came out and they were given a higher remuneration that just a year after, like, I got out. It was so annoying. If not for some of our veterans that are now fighting, coming out to do protests and all those stuff, that was why we were able to even get some of our benefits. And even up to now, some of them are still hanging. So we don't even know where to go. We are just appealing now that probably the president will look into the matter. The first lady has tried her best. She gave money to old veterans, but some of us did not even get it because of the kind of I don't understand anyway. But some did. So we don't even know those who benefited. So it was not open. So that was why we couldn't even say actually we are happy with at the moment. So when things are open,
I'm a little curious. What are the entitlements? Because it is very sad and very disheartening to see that veterans like yourself who have put in 35 years, some even more, meritorious service into the Nigerian army, will come out and you still have to wait till eternity for your entitlements. What are the entitlements of an officer? I know that it will be different from that of a soldier. Can you put us through some of the entitlements, what has been paid and what hasn't?
The entitlements are gratuity of which we were paid. But like some of our, we are even lucky. Our own remuneration was even better than some of our colleagues who are of the same rank with me that retired like about 10 years ago, like about 20 years ago. You understand? So those were the things that we are fighting for. Then there was this security department allowance. Those that are coming out now were given the bulkier money to start with, which is even better. But some those of us that during that time that the SDA was not approved, we did not benefit from it. But because of all these protests, we were getting it in stipends. But if we can get it in bulk, it will be better for us to at least continue life with it. A lot of us have medical issues and so on and so forth. Some of us even still have children in the school that we are sponsoring. So these are the commitments that we all have that are ongoing, that the government should look at our situation, even including the other ranks as well. I'm sure I'm speaking for both ranks because we were all trained together, and all of us should enjoy, I mean, the benefit of our labor at the end of the day, so that we will all be happy at our older age. Because right now we are still we are retired but not tired. We are still trying to make ends meet, and it is better for you to help us now and celebrate us now that we are alive. A lot of we thank God that we are even alive to talk. A lot of us has gone, I mean, to the grave. We are not getting, we are even sad that they couldn't make it to come back and reunite with their families. But at the same time, we thank God that even some benefits were being granted to their families as well. But it's not enough to cater for the family they left behind. So if they could look into all these matters and help us, because while in the military, we were covered by the four walls of the barracks. We don't even know what is going on in the civil. So a lot of backwardness, a lot of setback, a lot of things because we were just facing the military job. We were not after anything. Well, we were not even thinking that we will go home one day and retire. It's just military work all the way. So if we could be compensated better than this, it will be better, especially for the older ones that have left the service ever before now. Let the government look into their issues and do something. That's my contribution so far.
Okay, retired Colonel, I'm going to ask you to just hold the line a moment. You know, we're going to be linking up with our correspondent, State House correspondent Larry Lasisi, who is covering the events at the Cenotaph today, at the National Cenotaph. Larry, have activities started? What exactly is the expectation at the National Cenotaph where you currently are? Appear that we're having some challenges with Larry, but as soon as he is set, we certainly will be going to our correspondent Larry Lasisi, who is at the National Cenotaph covering activities for us there today. But ma'am, let me come back to you. You were talking about what needs to be done, you know, to keep you happy. And I heard a part where you said that some of your members are ill. I wanted to find out if they're still allowed to use the military hospital. Are they entitled to still use the military hospital, or do they have to now pay when they finally leave service?
Yes, we are all entitled to use the military hospital because we have this NHIS, but there's little or nothing the NHIS can offer when it gets to a complication like you have to go through surgery that will cost a lot of money, like somebody having surgery for glaucoma and all those stuff, you know. So, and when it comes to that, there's little or nothing the NHIS can do. So you have to cough out the money from your purse. So these are the things that we are asking. That is the reason why we are asking for more benefits. I mean, or increase in our benefits so that we can be able to meet up with all these things. Because nobody is even as we are now, if not for our children, some family members are not even ready to assist. So you have to cater for yourself and yourself alone. That is the situation right now. And that is why the government should also look into this matter. A lot of people are having problems with maybe diabetes and all those stuff, all these capital illness. So they have to, some are even on drugs, maybe monthly and all those stuff, and the drugs are the prices for drugs are not smiling at all to the pension that they were receiving. So these are the things that the government should look into and assist most veterans.
Usually
For
when we
now.
speak with the army chiefs, I mean, when we speak with the chief of defense staff, you get to speak with sometimes chief of army staff, etc. They always say, oh, we're doing what we can with those who have retired. It's very, I don't know how to put it now, but is it that they don't understand that maybe what they're doing is not enough, or is it that they don't have the true picture of what it really is like for those who have retired?
It will be not like I said that those who are those who just left now. I mean, they have. I mean, their remuneration is a bit better than those of us that left earlier. That was why I said, if anything should be looked into, it should be for those that have retired earlier, like say 20, 30 years ago. We even have some veterans that have retired 40, 50 years ago. So that we did not even meet them in the army, and we knew when we were doing this physical. We used to do this physical. What will I've even forgot? It used to be a yearly event that we all go to the military barracks for physical registration, just to know those who are still alive and those who have gone. I think I attended once. When I saw some of the old veterans, in fact, I was almost in tears. Some came in with wheelchair. Their children had to bring them in. Some came in fact, so many of them like that. I think that was why they had to even change it to make it to make us go on online online appearances now, because some couldn't even make it to the venue. So those are the things that I'm asking. It's not that they are not doing enough for us, but for the older ones, those are the ones that needed this improvement. They need the improvement so much. They needed it so much. So they have to look into their affairs, including those of us that retired from 2017 downwards. Upwards rather, I don't even know. 2018 to this time, the benefit is better, and I think if the government has tried in that area, because it was the request of our senior officers that have retired. It was their request then that was just approved now. And instead of backdating it to the time of those senior officers that really paved the way for us, they now started it with the present ones. It's not good enough. It's not really good enough. It should have been backdated to those people that really initiated these packages now that some of us are benefiting from. So that's just why you see some of these veterans coming out to protest and all those stuff, which is supposed not to be. It's not supposed to be at all.
Indeed, it is very heartbreaking for, even us civilians to see those who have served, who have given their all, to the country, you know, seeing them protesting and carrying placards, that really ought not to be so. And we hope that is a situation that will continue to improve. I have to thank you so much for lending your voice this beautiful Armed Forces Remembrance Day to the call that, you know, better ought to be done by our veterans. We thank you so much for your service, ma'am, and we hope that, you know, your rewards will be here on earth as you're asking for them, and also in heaven as well. Retired Colonel Oluyemi Oyikola, former director of catering in the Nigerian Army, thank you so much for speaking with us on Sunrise Daily.
Thank you, Malta. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Indeed. Okay, we'll switch over to Lagos now, where we do have another issue for you, but I think our correspondent Lanre Lasise will be joining us shortly. Over now to you, Ayo.
Well, thank you. Let's quickly check if is Lanre Lasise ready, because the question you asked him, just so we take this all in one breath, is quite instructive. If Lanre has joined us, this is a good time. So Lanre, what's the update? We talked about the cenotaph, the national cenotaph already, and we see that activities are already gearing up.
Well, yes, a lot of activities here, and I can tell you it's a place of color, a place of different activities. They're present here right now, ministers, members of cabinet, senior military officers, members of the diplomatic corps. We also have some of the widows. As you know, this event is primarily to celebrate heroes of the armed forces who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for this country. And this is a tradition and a ceremony that is observed unfailingly every year. We have some of the widows of these heroes here with us. We have members of the Nigeria Army wives and all the other armed forces, wives of the other armed forces associations also represented here. We have the chairman and members of the Nigerian Legion and here. And as I said earlier, it's a place of color. We have the members of the officers of the Nigerian Armed Forces. They have been here ready for this very important ceremony, and I can tell you that a lot of dignitaries have been arriving. There is a format that is usually observed at this event where you have in order of protocol, reverse protocol as the case is, where dignitaries arrive here before it tops off to the climax of the event, which is the President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces arrives. So we've had the arrival of the members, top officials and officers of the military, the Chief of Defense Staff, Service Chiefs and the Inspector General of Police. We've had the Honorable Minister of Defense, and there he's arrived with the Minister of State. The Chief Justice of Nigeria has just arrived, and we're waiting for the arrival of the Senate, the Speaker of the House of Assembly. A place of color is a place of people waiting to pay honor to our soldiers, heroes as we like to term them, who have done their duty to make this country be in existence and to continue to exist. So we're here, everything is set, and we're slowly winding down to when the event will start proper.
Well, thank you so much for that update, Larry, and there are so many other questions to ask you, but I'm pretty sure that some of them will be in the report that you'll be giving us later on in the day. Thank you so much, Larry.